is also linked to the importance of prayer. And there is also, too, a thing that people should understand. There is a difference between cleanliness and between purity. Cleanliness is just to be clean, but purity is to be clean as described by Almighty Allah. Cleanliness, for example, when you go to the westernized world or the Western world, they have a very clean environment. Their hotels is clean, but it's not pure. The life of a non-Muslim or the life of somebody who does not believe in God can be clean, but it cannot be pure. Because purity is a cleanliness and plus. It's a cleanliness that is attributed to Allah, a cleanliness that has intention to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can have a dirty cloth which is pure. You see people praying, the cloth is not as clean as you think, but it is pure. There are some clean clothes which are not pure, meaning you suppose that your clothes have some semen on it and some impurity in it, and then you go and put it in a water which is not purifying, and then you wash it. That cloth is clean, but it's not pure. That's why you cannot pray with it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants purity, and purity is cleanliness that is designed to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then purity is one of the conditions of the validity of prayer. That's what and then you have the two types of purity, as we have just mentioned. What we call major ablution and minor ablution. And major ablution is sometimes called janaba. When you are in a state of janaba, meaning when you have finished, when a woman finishes their periods, or when you have an affair with your wife or your husband, or when men see wet dream, so they have to engage in what we call major ablution, and is well known. It has about 4 conditions simply. The condition of intention, that's why intention, because it's to connect to Allah. Intention, the application of water all over your body, rubbing of your body, and also sequence and constant. So if these 4 conditions are met, then you have what we call major ablution. Then the minor ablution is also known. So these are the conditions for the validity of prayer, that before you go to pray, then you do them, then you are clean. Imagine Aisha who does that every day. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked us, لو أن بباب أحدكم نهرا لو أن بباب أحدكم نهرا. Imagine or suppose that one of you has a pond or a swimming pool before your door, and then every day you take shower, every day 5 times. هل سيبقى لكم من درن? Will there be any dirt in you? They say no. He said that is the prayer.
The 5 daily prayers are mandatory and must be done on time. But however, you realize that some people, some of the jollers and the fullers, sometimes they've developed this lingering attitude of not performing them on time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-Hud, وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ طَرَفَيِ النَّهَارِ وَزُلَفًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ ذَلِكَ الذِّكْرَ لِلذَّاكِرِينَ. That is, and establish regular prayers at the 2 ends of the night and at the approaches of the night. For those things that are good, remove those that are evil. That is a reminder for the mindful. In Surah Al-Nisa, Allah again says, Inna salata kanat alal mu'minina kitaban mawqutan. That is, verily the prayer is enjoined on the believers at fixed hours. So now, how do you see some of these people who are shrouded and paralyzed by the misconception that they can always make them up, like piling them up sometimes before going to bed? Sometimes people just try to argue that when they are at the workplace, they are shrouded with so much work, they find it difficult to perform them on time, or when they are at home, even engaged or immersed in domestic chores, they find it difficult to do them on time. Exactly, that they have to succumb to this kind of aberration, piling them up.
Thank you very much, Aisha. It's a very, it's rampant. And the problem, and it also shows the depth of our problems, the depth of our, lack of connectivity, and the depth of lack of discipline and education at the family level.
That's right.
You see, Aisha, when you are disciplined, when you are trained to be accustomed to prayer,
wherever you go, you'll have to do it.
It becomes part of you. And when you don't, you feel spiritual vacuum. You go to sleep, you cannot sleep. Why? Because there is something missing.
Exactly.
Believe me. Not only that, when you are accustomed to it, as I told you, it is an issue of recharging your battery. Imagine a mobile that now is running out of charge. it will yearn, it will scream and say, please charge me. Every individual who is accustomed to prayer, and the time comes, he will feel that there is something missing because the battery, the recharge is running out of charge. What do? You leave everything and go to pray. The moment you see that, you know that there is a problem of in discipline, and that we as parents are no longer disciplining our children to be accustomed to prayer on time. That is one thing. The second thing is that this world in which we live is a world of action, and every action needs time. You are raising your child, you are teaching your child to be very much anxious, to be very much conscious of time. If you come to the underdeveloped world, our problem is the crisis of time. We don't respect time, partly because we don't respect the time of God. So once you know that when you are charged to deliver, for example, anything, you have a time limit, then the time limit must be conscious. So this issue of time limit, consciousness of time limit, is also that Allah wants to teach us in Islam. Islam is not a religion of, it's not just a religion, it's a religion and civilization. It's a religion that creates a civilization, a government, economic system, and all these you need to be very conscious of time. And if you are accustomed to time given to you by Allah, you will be also accustomed to the time needed in your work. As long as you don't respect that, you will not respect that. So this is very important. That's why in the Salat Kanat al Mu'minina Kitaban Mawqutan. And then you pile them up. When you pile them up,
before I go to bed, I will pray.
I'll pray. When you pile them up, you will first of all miss the charging of your battery. Secondly, when you go home, you don't do them right.
Exactly, because you're already tired, exhausted.
You are tired, you are exhausted.
The energy is not there.
The energy is not there. You don't do it right. Because if you need maybe 5 minutes to do one prayer, or at least 10 minutes, you will lump sum them together and then do them in 5 minutes. And this is where the type of prayer when the Prophet ﷺ saw that man in the mosque, he says, Salli fa innaka lam tusalli. He prayed and the Prophet said, hey, repeat your prayer because you did not pray. And in a hadith, the Prophet is saying that there are prayers where Allah will just fold them. After you finish, Allah will fold it up and then beat it to you and say you don't pray. Because those who pile them, they think that they are depositing a lot in their bank account. But when they go to the last day, they will discover that there is nothing in the account. Because you keep praying, thinking that you are praying, but you are not praying. So then piling up is very dangerous, and I think people have to be very, they have to avoid that. Not only that, when you pile it up as a parent, can you now tell your child to pray on time?
No, definitely you will not.
No.
Some pile them up or procrastinate them, but then you realize that also